Today on Ask This Old House.
I'll show you an easy way to get electricity to a detached garage.
And are squeaky floors driving you crazy?
And over here, especially by the changing table, is very squeaky.
And I'll show you why wearing the right safety equipment is so important when you're running a chainsaw.
No protection at all, Roger. And it's old, it's wood, and has a wheel that slides. What is it?
In the old days, when I was a child, right, this is how we did line paper. And I can draw my lines.
Look at you can't even make it straight.
That's next on Ask This Old House. Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House, where we are standing by, ready to help you with your house. We'd love to hear from you, so send us an email or a tweet. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Kevin, how are you?
What are you going to do? About to do some laps?
Well, actually, I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm actually reading a tweet from my wristwatch.
Really?
Yeah.
On your watch?
From
Fancy man, huh?
Sarah Waterbury. How do I get my H2O to stop smelling like sulfur? Hot is worse than cold, but both stink.
So now I know how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, call me on my watch.
Yeah. All right, so what about that? I mean, what happens when the water smells?
We often hear this complaint. Generally, when you dig into it, it's from somebody that is on a well water or groundwater water supply.
Well water, so why is that?
What happens is the groundwater can pick up hydrogen sulfide, a naturally occurring gas, gets absorbed into the water, then comes into the house. And when it does, once it gets released, you can get that smell as a gas.
So you say it's naturally occurring. Is
That's
it
right.
dangerous? You have to worry about it?
It is not dangerous, but it's really, really annoying.
How do you treat it at the well?
Well, if it's hot and cold, you get it from both places, then you want to call a local well and contractor, and they're going to put some sort of filter in to try and knock down and take out the hydrogen sulfide. But most times we hear it that it comes predominantly from the hot water side. And when that happens, I always want to look here. Inside of any tank-type water heater, it has a sacrificial anode rod that used to look like this. In this case, it looks like this because it's completely rotted.
Yeah, that is a big difference.
Now, the standard one in the industry is made out of magnesium.
Sure.
And this hydrogen sulfide will attack that magnesium like crazy, giving you that rotten egg smell like crazy, and eating the mag rod.
Okay.
So if you have high hydrogen sulfide levels, you can get this. It's an anode rod made out of aluminum versus magnesium.
Oh, interesting.
And aluminum is much more impervious to that hydrogen sulfide breakdown.
Less likely to get the smell
That's-
coming
that's
out
right.
of that.
That's
And that's a pretty straightforward fix. I mean, you're replacing one for another.
Not really.
No?
You know what? If you want to change this, you have to do it right after you put the water in every 2 years because they can get fused right in. So sometimes you can't get them out.
So if the smell is coming from hot or cold, or in this case from the hot water heater, that's well water. What about municipal water? Do we typically get that smell from municipal?
You shouldn't. Municipal water has been treated. The water that comes should have no high levels of hydrogen sulfide. Should be fine by the time it comes through the pipe to your house.
Perfect. All right, so I'm just going to send you a thank you right
You
to
are?
your...
And where's it going to come to? Right
No,
here?
never mind. Just thanks. Just thanks.
All right.
My wife and I have 4 girls, all under the age of 10. We moved into this house 3 years ago, and the big fenced-in yard has been perfect. But the one thing that has me worried is this power line that runs from the house out to the garage. We spend a lot of time outside. We like to play soccer. We like to swing on the swings. But the one problem is that this power line is always swinging over our heads. We still need power out to the garage for the doors and the lights. I just want to make it safe for my family.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Scott, thanks for coming.
You got it.
What do you think about my wire?
Well, you certainly can't miss it. It looks like it's providing electricity from the house over here to your garage,
Yep.
which it's done all the time. It's done from the utility poles to your house right now. What I don't like about it is where it is in your backyard here. It's dangerous. It's supposed to be 10 feet high. It's not 10 feet high, and there's no ground. That can be improved. And also, the wiring is covered in a rubber insulation, which can break down with the weather and crack and expose the wires. So what I want to do, I want to cut this out of here, and I want to bury the wires underground, providing the garage with power. It'll be a lot safer.
I like the sound of that.
All right, let's get started.
All right.
There's only one circuit that runs from the house to the garage. I've identified it, shut it off, and disconnected it at the panel. Now I can cut the wire, tape it up to make it nice and safe. Push it back into the house so it's out of the way, and then weather seal the hole using a silicone caulking, and do the same thing at the garage. So this is what we're using to bring the electricity out to the garage. It's called UF wire, which stands for underground feeder. and it can get buried directly into the earth.
Doesn't need a pipe or anything like that?
No, this is a waterproof sheathing here, and you can lay it in a trench 12 inches deep.
Wow, that sounds pretty easy.
It is, but it's a long trench that we have to dig. So I'm using this trenching machine, which has this chainsaw-looking attachment on it that rips through the ground, takes the dirt, and kicks it off to one side. It'll make real short work of this trench. Before we do any digging, I called the utility locating service to check for any underground pipes or wires. This area is clear. Anywhere the wire is exposed above ground, I need to protect it with this conduit. But because your stone foundation comes down here and flares out, I need to heat up this pipe so that it'll bend and conform to the foundation.
Cool.
I heat the pipe using a propane torch until the plastic gets flexible. Then I can bend it in any position I need. When the pipe cools, it will stay in that shape. Now I can feed enough wire through the conduit to reach across the basement to the electrical panel. All right, Craig, you ready for it?
Yep, go ahead.
Here it comes. Now we can lay the wire in the trench. And we also use conduit above ground at the garage. Now we're ready to start backfilling. First, we'll put sand in. That acts as a warning for anyone digging. For an extra layer of protection, we use this red caution tape. So here in the garage, this wire here was tied in to the overhead wire coming from the house.
Okay.
It ties into this box right here. This box feeds all the outlets and all the lights in the garage. Now, this is our new underground wire, which comes in right down below where we poked through. I ran it up to this point, and I'm going to tie it into here and refeed everything.
Sounds great.
Because the wire is only buried 12 inches deep, we need to protect it with a GFCI breaker. It works just like the outlets in the bathroom and kitchen, and it's there for safety. All right, Craig, power's back on. Go ahead, hit the lights.
All right.
All right, try the door.
Very nice.
Well, the power's going to the garage now, and the best part about it,
No overhead wire. Scott, thank you so much for coming out.
you got it. So just throw some grass seed here. You'll never know I was here.
Will do. Thanks for coming.
All right, guys, this is an antique tool that was sent in from a viewer, Jim from North Brookfield, Massachusetts.
Wow, look at that thing.
It's a wooden tool. It has a file on it. It rolls back and forth and has a little twisty thing right there.
Wow.
What is it?
I actually know what that is.
You do?
I do.
Oh, you know Jim?
I did.
Can I take this one first?
Sure, please do.
So it's an old tool, definitely.
I said
We've
that.
used this to teach apprentices how to splice wires, because you know we do a lot of splicing of wires.
Yeah. So you're an electrician.
So this is what we normally use, which is a pair of pliers. It's cumbersome. You got to open
That's
it.
hard.
yeah.
It's hard. So what
Yeah.
we do, we take the wires,
I'll hold this for you.
we insert it only on this end, okay? And
Amazing how
then-
quickly he learned how to lie.
Yeah.
and there you go.
You twist it.
Back and forth.
Look at that.
Much better than pliers.
And
Yeah.
then it's amazing when you're done with it.
What?
comes out and it's.
You don't even think anybody noticed that you just flipped that in, Fred?
That was great, Scott. Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, you've got a quarter in here, little boy. Oh, yeah, that's for you. Go get some
Thank
popcorn.
you.
No. This, believe it or not, comes to us from the Screwdriver Museum. You been there?
Just last week, actually, yeah.
Well, then you would have known that first we had this. Today we have this. But between this and this is this.
The bridge.
Absolutely. Watch how this works. This is those middle years screwdrivers. You put the bit all the way through here like this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you want to unscrew something,
for you?
yeah, watch this. Okay, you see that little right there?
Yeah.
You pull it back, you put it in there, and you go like this.
Yeah.
One
Oh, yeah,
pass.
look at that.
And tight.
That's definitely a time
You guys
saver.
with me?
Does this go in your pouch too?
Actually, the Phillips screw head wasn't invented until 1926, and this was actually 1890.
Really? Really?
What do you have?
Sorry.
Well,
What do you got? 'Cause
You
his
know what? There was a day before lined paper. All these kids nowadays, they take it for granted.
Oh,
But
those spoiled
Those
little
spoiled
kids.
rotten kids. And now they're on email. so here, in the old days, when I was a child,
Yeah,
right, this is how we did lined paper.
this is great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And now, and then when you wanted to write big letters,
2 lines.
okay, and then this is for the fine print right here.
How do you do a dotted line, Richard?
Don't confuse
Oh,
us. Don't
good,
confuse
good.
us.
Did that
Yeah,
have
that's
anything to do with you becoming a plumber?
It drove me to it.
I will have to say, and I hate to say this, you are the closest. It's not for drawing lines, though. It's actually for sharpening a pencil.
Really?
Are you
Put
serious?
the pencil in here. You had it in backwards, by the way.
Oh, really? I was close though.
Put the pencil in
there
here.
any-
Rock it back and forth onto the file.
Really what it is?
That's what it is.
It's a shame. All right, Tommy, you only have a half-hour show now.
There you go. 45 minutes. Wasn't
Thank
bad.
you, Jim.
Good, I like it. That's cool.
Roger, what's with the dummy? You guys aren't replacing me, are you?
You see the way he's dressed? He's dressed like a landscaper. He's replacing me.
Well, in that case, I'm fine with it. No, but seriously though, why the mannequin up here in the barn?
Well, Kevin, I want to reinforce safety items when it comes to running a chainsaw.
Well, you know what? It is an aggressive tool, right? I mean, essential, but if something goes wrong with a chainsaw, you get trouble.
In my mind, this is the most dangerous tool you can use.
All right, so what are you thinking about in terms of safety gear on our mannequin friend?
Well, let's start on the top here. This is a great piece of equipment to have because it's 3 things built into one. It has hearing protection, face protection, and a helmet. Now, you're always looking for your hearing protection. You never know where you put it. This way here, they're always with you. You have a mask that comes down and will protect any large debris from getting through and hitting you in the face. And then on top, a helmet in case a branch falls.
So here you've got the eye protection in addition to the face mask. Are you suggesting that we wear both?
Yes, because small particles of dust or even wood could get through this, and you want to make sure your eyes are protected.
All right, so love the plaid, good choice.
Good color, huh?
Yeah?
Now, gloves, essential. You're going to be running a sharp saw, and you also have a lot of pieces of wood around that could cut you. So these are important to have a good, heavy set of gloves. And down here, we need a good set of boots. These are really important because when you're cutting, you want to be able to get a good, firm grip on the ground and be nice and stable.
Okay.
But the most important is a pair of safety chaps. Over 1/3 of all the chainsaw injuries involve cuts to the legs.
Well, I'm definitely with you with everything else. I mean, eye, ear protection all the time. But chaps? I mean, I'm not really a chaps guy.
Let's gear up and I'll show you how important they are.
All right.
Let me show you what I've done, Kevin. I took the safety chap and I've tucked it up behind him and then exposed the jeans in the leg.
Yep.
What I'm going to do now is show you how little protection a pair of jeans will really give you when you cut into it with a saw.
You're really going to cut our body here?
You ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Whoa. No protection at all, Rod.
None.
Took about 2 seconds right through the jeans, right through the leg. Whoa, look at that.
No protection at all from the chainsaw. Now let's see how the saw does with a safety chap.
Whoa. Well, what happened there?
Kevin, these chaps are filled with ballistic fibers. Once the chain grabs them, it binds up the engine and shuts it off.
Really? Just jams it right up, huh?
Yep.
All right, so let's look back here and see how he did. Wow.
How's it look?
It did not come through the chap at all. The leg is perfectly protected.
Now you're a big believer in chaps.
I am a huge believer. Thanks, Roger.
So Tom, this is the room that I wrote to you about. This is our nursery.
Oh, this is very nice. I like the decor. It's beautiful. I like the color.
Thank you. This is Aurelia's room.
Hi, Aurelia. How are you? She's beautiful.
She's 11 weeks now.
11 weeks. Does she sleep well? Better yet, how are you sleeping?
We're not sleeping. That's the problem.
What's the problem?
We're having a problem with our floors. They're really squeaky. So
yeah.
anytime I try to put her down in bed, or if I'm trying to leave her, the floors squeak and then she automatically wakes up.
Yeah.
And then over here, especially by the changing table, is very squeaky.
I can hear it. And late at night, that noise seems to magnify.
It does sound 10 times louder at 3 in
Yeah.
the morning.
All right, well, I think I can solve that problem. Let me first of all explain what you have. Under the carpet, there's a plywood subfloor. When the subfloor was installed, it was nailed to the joists that are spaced 16 inches on center. Over time, as the wood expands and contracts, the nail can actually come loose. And when the nail comes loose, it moves in the wood. And that movement of the wood and the nail is actually causing your squeak. So there's no safety concerns here, it's just a nuisance. All we have to do is reattach the subfloor to the structure, and we can do that without tearing your room apart.
That sounds great.
All right, let's get started.
Thanks.
Okay, now when I came into your house, I looked at the way the house was framed, and I noticed that there was a bearing wall right in this direction here. That means that on the second floor, your floor joist should sit on that bearing wall and be 16 inches on center and framed in this direction.
Okay.
So what I need to do is find those joists without taking the carpet up. And the first thing I'm going to do is bang the floor with my hammer and listen for a hollow sound and a solid sound. So let's start right here. That's hollow right there, so there shouldn't be a joist. I go over a little further. That's kind of solid right there. So there might be a joist right there. So I'll lay the hammer there. Now I'm going to take my drill with this long screw with very little thread and screw it through the rug, through the subfloor. If there's no structure below, it won't pull my drill down. There's nothing there. Okay, I'll take it out. So now let me try it right here where the hammer is. All right, there's a joist right there.
Okay.
Now, I know that's my first joist. I take my tape measure, run it across the floor, and I'm going to place it on 16 inches right here. And now I know that every 16 inches across this room will be another joist. Now I just need to transfer those measurements to the opposite side of the room. All right, we located the joist on each side of the room with a screw, and I left the screw head sticking up and attached the string line from one side of the room to the other. So now we know the exact location of the joist through the carpet.
Okay.
Now if you were replacing this carpet, you could take it up, you'd see the subfloor, and you know exactly where to screw with any kind of a screw. But we're going to use a special screw with this adapter right here. We're going to take this adapter, we're going to place it and center it over the line, take this screw, and the kit also comes with this special driver bit. It'll stop the screw at the right depth. Take and push the screw through the hole in the center of the tripod, push down, tight to the rug, screw it down tight and let it stop on its own. Okay, now that pushed it right down and that pulled the subfloor to the joist nice and tight. Now in the tripod there's this special slot right here, and that's designed to go over the head of the screw. When I push it over the head like that, I'm going to rock the screw back and forth, and there's a special part of the screw that will actually break it off just below the surface of the top of the subfloor. All right?
Wow.
So see if you can feel that screw.
Wow, no, can't feel it or see it.
Great. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to screw off the subfloor to the joist across the whole room. right, Marion, it's all tightened up. What do you think?
I don't hear anything.
That's
Yeah.
the plan.
This is great. No squeaking.
No squeaking. Well, let's hope somebody sleeps tonight.
Hopefully we both do. Thanks so much. This is so great.
All right, it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Tommy, you are a hero. Helping a new mother sleep, nothing more important.
Nothing more important to be able to get some sleep at night. And it's amazing that a little noise like that, during the daytime, you don't really notice it.
Right.
But at night, you notice every little thing.
You know, it's kind of a magical little system, right? I mean, it's got two critical parts, the thing that sets the depth and then that weak point right there.
This is actually a special screw that's designed to break off right here at the lower part of the smooth part of the shank.
And that's because you want the thread set just below the surface.
Right. When the screw comes down and goes into the subfloor, it stops right there, leaving the thread of the shank holding the subfloor down.
I mean, it's key that the thread is actually in the subfloor and in the joist because that's what's going to pull the two together.
Right. And you don't want to overdrive it. That's why this tool is key, so that when you drive this screw down,
stops it at just the right point.
stops it at the right point. Then I use this piece right here to snap the head off. And that's down just below the surface, so you'll never feel it.
So the carpet's very forgiving, right? Because you got a little bit of a pile and you can hide
Yep.
all that mess right there. But stairs squeak all the time.
Yeah.
They're typically a piece of finished wood or even a hardwood floor itself. Really nowhere to hide.
No, so what you need to do is use a different attachment first. All right, this is a guide. And when I put the screw in there, and I screw it into place, I want to push down. I want to just keep going with the screw. I really don't want to stop, so I keep driving it through. And the screw head breaks off.
So they just snapped it right there for you.
Just snapped at that weak point. Pull it out of the hole.
You got that little spot right there, but then you can come back, a little wax pencil, and you can actually fill that in and match the color, and you should have no problem.
You don't even see it, and you won't have a squeaky floor anymore.
All right, good segment, Tommy. Thank you. All right, so until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor
And I'm Tom Silva.
for Ask This Old House. She is going to sleep well tonight.
She sure is.
Next time on Ask This Old House.
Do you like the look of this table? Well, we'll show you how to build it.
I'll show you how to repair a pothole in an asphalt driveway.
I'll show you how to bring new life to an old lantern.
And it's a black metal box and a clamp. What is it?
Well, I opened up a nail salon for contractors.
You did?
Absolutely.